The Sunday School lesson for October the 15th, 2023, week 7 is Listen to God's Judges, based on Judges chapter 2, verses 11 through 19. This is an audio reading of the lesson summary. A brief summary. Sadly, this is not the only time that the phrase the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord is used. See also Judges chapter 3, verse 7 and 12, chapter 4, verse 1, chapter 6, verse 1, chapter 10, verse 6, and chapter 13, verse 1. The Israelites turned to the gods of Canaan, crediting those deities as the source of their present prosperity. The people served and worshiped the Baals as well as Yahweh. Baal is the god of the storm, which means that the people thought he provided rain that caused crops to grow. The consequences of such worship were disastrous. Baal was worshipped in many places, as the inclusion of the word Baal in various names of places testifies. For example, in Exodus chapter 14, verse 2, and Numbers chapter 32, verse 38. In Canaan, it seems that every high hill had an idolatrous representation of Baal and Asherah. Ashtoreth is the Hebrew plural form of Asherah. She is Baal's consort in Canaanite religious mythology, being a goddess of war and fertility. In former times, God had given victory to the people of Israel, but now he gave them defeat. God's purpose, of course, was not to destroy his people, but to save them. In earlier times, they had seen that God helped them when they worshiped him and obeyed his law. Now they were seeing that it was disastrous to forsake him and worship idols. When they learned their lesson and again began to worship and obey Jehovah, he was ready to help them again. At the appropriate time, God gave them such a leader. Verses 16 through 19 summarize what happened over and over through those centuries. When God's people were at peace and prosperous, they soon began to forget their duty to him. They fell into the sensual and sinful ways of the heathen. Then God allowed bandits and enemies to take away their prosperity. In poverty and distress, the people would realize that they needed God. When they gave up their sins and pleaded with him for help, he responded by giving them a judge who led them in ending their oppression and distress. But when the judge died, the backsliding began again. Thank you so much for listening. Join me soon for the next audio reading of the lesson summary. Stay safe and may God bless.